Welcome to this episode of What's Up Weekly, where we bring you the latest news in 10 minutes or less. I'm Margot Andrews.
And I'm Brittany Bradley. We're here to keep you up to date and informed with what's happening on campus and around the world. So let's get started. We're kicking off the show with the big news of the week, Kim Kardashian's divorce. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm seriously concerned for your well-being. News blew up Monday as the reality star filed for divorce from basketball player Kris Humphries after only 72 days of marriage. TMZ reported that Kris didn't know Kim was filing until TMZ informed him. That's kind of awkward.
Yeah, that's really awkward.
Kim commented the two had irreconcilable differences, but will remain friends, while Kris commented he loves his wife and is committed to everything that marriage represents. Kris Jenner is handling damage control and appeared on the Today Show this morning to dispel rumors about her daughter's divorce. She says Kim actually lost money from the wedding, which Kim didn't mind paying because she wanted it to be her fairy tale wedding. Jenner went on to explain these money-making rumors are simply outrageous. Kim is currently in Australia with Khloe and Lamar and is making appearances there.
You know, I heard Kathy Lee say in the Today Show that she and Khloe were together before and they saw Kim walking by and Khloe goes, I give it 6 months. I think there was an F word in there. I can't say so on like educational campus TV, but I give it 6 months.
You know what? I mean, that sounds like something she would say, and Khloe's always right, so you never know.
Anyway, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But in more Kardashian news, Kris Jenner has come out saying that she believes O.J. Simpson killed her friend Nicole Brown. Her first husband, Rob Kardashian, defended O.J. in the world-famous trial years ago. The New York Post claims that Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the family, had a conversation with Nicole Miller in which Miller stated, O.J.'s gonna kill me and get away with it. Kris also claims that Nicole invited her to lunch the day before she was killed, but she was tied up and couldn't make it. Later in her book, Kris Jenner states that she knew O.J. had something to do with the death of her friend, and she feels guilty about not being able to meet with her that day.
I mean, I hate to jump the Kardashian train so fast, but I think I'll throw in my Dancing with the Stars story now so we can keep up with the Kardashians. It was Halloween night in the ballroom and the couples brought their best spooky dances. There was a new leader in the competition, and boy did he need the positive feedback after his family's dramatic week. Rob Kardashian was praised for his high-kicking Addams Family tango and proved he too is a top contender in the competition. Our controversial rebels, Max and Hope Solo, even improved their scores this week, despite a video rehearsal tape which showed Max getting forceful with his partner. Hope assures everyone she doesn't mind Max's teaching style, which apparently seems to be working. Unfortunately for Nancy Grace, her performance this week was more boo than boo-rific. Grace dressed up as a devil for her jive that was just plain awkward. Bruno even told her it looked like her shoes were too small, which danced her to the bottom of the scoreboard. So which celebrity was scared off the show? Nancy Grace and David Arquette were in the bottom two, with David surprisingly being the one sent home.
You know, everywhere I read, they said Nancy Grace was the one to be home, going home, so I'm kind of surprised at how heated it's getting.
I know, and I felt bad for her. Honestly, I mean, she earned her spot there. She got the votes. Everyone was booing, though, when they announced David's name.
Just not a fan favorite.
I mean, I'm not dying over her, but that's, it's awkward, so poor Nancy. Start to hang in there.
Well, here's another amazing statistic. The world has reached another milestone in terms of population. Currently, there are 7 billion people residing on the planet. This number is 1 billion higher than it was 12 years ago, give or take a couple months. Scientists agree that the population has been and will continue to keep growing on a steep curve, climbing up in the numbers through the rest of the century. In fact, the UN's best estimate is that there will be 9.3 billion people in the world by 2050 and exceed 10.1 billion by the end of the century. Nearly all the growth is projected to occur in developing countries like Asia, Africa, and Latin America, while industrialized nations will have populations that remain relatively flat.
Well, from world population to worldwide news, after being involved in one of the most controversial judicial cases of the decade, it's no surprise that Amanda Knox is turning to self-defense classes to help keep herself safe. Knox is currently training in the art of Krav Maga, which is a self-defense fighting style born in Israel. Amanda was seen attending a Krav studio Monday in Seattle. She practiced on a punching bag and even learned how to fight her way out of a chokehold, which in my opinion is a smart thing to do, seeing on how Amanda is considered one of the most hated people in Italy for her trial involving the death of her roommate, Meredith Kircher. We have yet to hear much from Amanda herself on life after jail, but I suspect it'll only be a matter of time until she decides to talk, and I will definitely be glued in front of my TV ready to hear what she has to say.
I still think it's going to be the Today Show, I'm just saying.
I don't know who it's going to be, I just want to hear something soon. I'm dying for it.
Yeah.
We need some news.
Well, in other worldly news, a change that disrupts a pattern of over 300 years is coming to the British monarchy. For the first time, sons and daughters will have an equal right to the throne. This law means that if Kate and William have a baby girl before any boys, she'll be able to rule before them, whereas previously the boy would be the first heir to the throne no matter what. The ban on the monarch being married to a Roman Catholic was also lifted. These changes were unanimously approved by all Commonwealth countries and will require significant changes to British legislation dating back to the 1600s.
Think about all the hype for the wedding. Can you imagine when they actually have babies?
I know.
I can't wait to see them.
I'm guessing they're going to take their time with that, kind of enjoy married life for a little bit.
That would be the smart thing to do, but we'll see what happens. Let's bring it back to campus now. The nation's second largest philanthropic organization, IUDM, is back this weekend. While the organization raises money year-round for Riley Hospital for Children, it wraps up this year in a 36-hour dance marathon. Dancers participating will experience a big change in comparison to other years. Participants will be dancing in shifts as opposed to the whole 36 hours like previous years. Shifts will be from either 9 p.m. Friday to 2 p.m. Saturday or 4 p.m. Saturday to 8 a.m. Sunday. The event kicks off this Friday night, and Margot and myself will be there to host the webcast of the event, streaming live on iostv.com. Be sure to tune in to see how much money Hoosier Nation can raise.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of you guys come out there because we'll be there for quite a while. If not, you can definitely check it out online. Which brings me to our next story on digital media. Home entertainment spending has finally risen for the first time since 2008. Spending on home entertainment items like DVDs, Blu-rays, video rentals, Redbox, Netflix, etc. has increased 5% from a year ago, making the biggest leap for the past few years. With a total of $3.9 billion spent in the third quarter of this year, it's a large difference from $1.7 billion just a year ago. Digital revenue showed double-digit percentage growth, and spending on online rentals jumped 56%. I'm sure you've noticed that some physical stores like Blockbuster are almost extinct. However, losses are partially offset by things like Redbox kiosks.
And did you hear Redbox's announcement that starting Halloween that they raised their prices to $1.20?
No, I don't know, like with late fees and all that, it's going to get expensive.
Exactly. I mean, it's just a pattern showing it's just going to keep going up. So the good days of Redbox are over. But like we said, Netflix is changing. They're trying to make a comeback now, and Netflix always managed to get into our show somehow.
Yeah, well, they got to stay relevant.
Yeah. Well, some people will go to extremes for relevancy. We can't go 1 month without a celebrity nude photo scandal. Right now, Taylor Swift is the famous person in question for her topless photos release, but before T. Swift, it was actress Scarlett Johansson. Johansson included the FBI when her email account was hacked into last month. Now the situation is all cleared up. Scarlett has finally decided to open up about her personal photos. In an interview with Vanity Fair, she told the magazine that the photos were intended for her then-husband, Ryan Reynolds. How dare she send those things to my boyfriend? Honestly, it's hurtful. Yeah. And obviously he didn't like what he saw.
Does Blake Lively know?
I don't know. I mean, he obviously didn't like what he saw because the two got a divorce. But getting back to the story, Scarlett said the photos were sent to her husband and there is nothing wrong with that. The actress said she has no shame about sending the racy pictures because it wasn't like she was shooting a porno, which she then followed up with a comment saying, although there's nothing wrong with that either. Do we see a possible new movie role for ScarJo?
I really hope not, but don't take the pictures, you won't have the issues. Ugh.
Gross.
Anyway, I can't keep it straight with all the different info we're getting about the risks and health benefits of alcohol, but according to a new study, regular drinking, even in moderation, can raise the long-term risks of many kinds of cancer, including breast, liver, throat, and pancreatic. For some cancers, 3 or 4 drinks on a regular basis will up the risk, while for others, 1 drink a day will up the risk of developing diseases like esophagus and mouth cancers. For most cancers, the risks rise with the more alcohol you consume regularly. Cancer does not happen overnight, and it is the repeated exposure that will cause the long-term damages and possible cumulative effects.
I mean, I can't quite keep up with all of it. It seems like, every day there's different things
I know,
that
you hear
cancer.
a glass of wine a day is good for you, and then not 1 drink's not. I don't know.
Well, it's something to be cautious of anyway, but that's all we have for you guys this week. Remember to come check out IUDM.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at What's Up Weekly IU. Happy November.